speaking of potential and whether they're living up to it, the Knicks, see how I did that there? That was pretty good, right?
I like that.
3 games under 500. And now maybe it's the refs' fault? Yeah. Carmelo Anthony got ejected by referee Tony Brothers on Friday night and said he believes that Brothers has something against him. So did Lala, by the way, but that's a whole different conversation. Then there's Derrick Rose, who said he doesn't get calls because he was told he jumps into people. Stacks, should Melo and the Knicks stop complaining about the refs, or is this good, politicking with the league?
It's a little bit of both. At the end of the day, you can't complain to the refs and can't blame them for losing. At the end of the day, you have to go out there and win the game. Refs can't dictate games, but you have to go out there and play and not worry about it. On another note, every NBA player has one referee in their career that they just don't get along with.
So this is true, by the way.
No, this is totally true.
Okay.
Every NBA player has one ref that they just can't see eye to eye with. You have that feeling where he's picking on you, or you have that feeling where he's overlooking your calls. It's just one guy. I honestly like Tony, but Tony's one of those guys, he's straightforward. He doesn't show any favoritism, and you got to respect that.
Who was your guy? Who was the ref that you...
I don't even remember.
How much time we got? How much time we got?
I need to list the names.
Right, it is start
it's
checking
an
people
all-star team
off.
of them.
Exactly.
I agree with these guys 100%. It's the refs' fault. It's the refs' fault that the Knicks have the worst defense in the league. It's the refs' fault that they decided to fix the worst defense in the league by putting Kurt Rambis,
I know where this is going.
who coached the 27th, 28th, and 29th worst defenses in the league. It's the refs' fault that they have the third worst net rating in the league. It's the refs' fault that they say they're going to run triangle, but they're not going to run triangle, but they kind of want to triangle, but they don't want to run triangle. It's the refs' fault that Phil Jackson keeps meddling with Jeff Hornacek and every other coach. It's all the refs' fault. If it weren't for the refs, Knicks would be the best team in the league.
And I'll be signed.
Champions. Speaking of Phil Jackson, he talked to the great Jackie McMullen, our ESPN colleague, and he gave her this quote: "Do I have to win a championship before I feel I have done the job I've been asked to do, which is to bring this group back to that competitive level? No, I don't. We're starting to make progress."
Progress on paper. You haven't made progress on the court.
Right.
And that's what people want to see. No progress on the court, then you really haven't done nothing.
Yo, they're closer to making progresso than they are making progress. You kidding? Yo, progress? Progress. How do you come out and say that? At least wait till you 500, and then you can say we're making progress.
Right.
But you can't have the worst defense in the NBA and then appoint a dude who's never had anything better than...
Just circles back to this.
I'm just saying, but it's nothing they do is progress. Because you went out and bought some names, that's progress?
Well,
because Joakim Noah hit half a knee and half a shoulder, said yes to $70 million. Congratulations, you made progress. Get out of here, man.
Well, I mean, they have more hope.
The guy lives in a bubble. He lives in a fantasy land.
He also told Jackie in that piece that he didn't vote, and I have a problem with that. So there you go. Moving on. We'll stop there for a minute. But still to come on the jump, Steph Curry throws a team party. And, well, now I want balloons. We will discuss the mind tricks at play there. But first, check Kobe Bryant from over the weekend spilling how his old Phil Jackson Lakers used to mind trick opponents.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to double team the guy that hasn't gotten a max contract yet. We're not going to let him get a shot off. And then we're going to single cover the guy that has the max contract. And then watch the guy that doesn't have the max contract and complain about not getting the ball all night long and just watch them divide each other. Right? And those are little subtle things that we would do.
The Jump is brought to you by Wendy's, always fresh, never frozen beef.
Still recovered. Trying to stay with Booker. And KG and McCaw got a piece. Got numbers. Iguodala to the rim. And Booker will get the freebie. No! Durant saved it! Curry three. Good!
Well, that's the most exciting 40 seconds in the game.
Of course, ended with that Steph shot. There was no other way that was possibly going to end. That was amazing. Welcome back. The Warriors did end up winning that whole, defense optional game against the Suns yesterday. But let's not forget what else they did over the weekend. Yep, we're not tired of talking about it. Steph Curry hosted a team party where the theme was supervillains. There were balloons. There was a custom Snapchat filter. There was JaVale McGee flying a drone, which really is that so smart. But anyway, Steven, what do you think of the supervillains party?
I love the Gucci Man tattoo on Iguodala. I think that was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I think it's good that they're feeding into it. They're playing along with it. Their identity on the court is established already.
Yeah.
So by the fact that they're entertaining and making jokes out of it, I think it's just fun bringing the team closer together. It's nothing big deal. I'm glad that they're embracing it and running with it.
I didn't like it, man.
Come on.
But you're a villain.
I'm a super villain, but I don't have signs to let people know that I'm a super villain.
You don't have to say, like, welcome to my lair.
Yeah, I'm just a super villain. You know it when I walk in the room,
Right.
when I laugh, when I twirl my mustache. You know I'm a super villain. I don't need to have like a Snapchat filter to let you know that I'm a super
You don't
villain.
even have music.
But I don't.
But you know what it is, Rachel?
I don't want to let you in on something, but this was a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
I know, but like the idea that we have to make jokes about it and all that, I think it's kind of like, are you sensitive about it? Are you sensitive over the fact that people don't like you?
I actually think Steven has a great point. When the Heat all came together and it was, should we be villains, should we not be villains?
Right.
And LeBron was like, I'm making a list of everyone who
Yeah.
said bad things about me and all of that stuff. Like, they hadn't formed an identity as a team yet. So the question was, were they really going to try to be this? You're right. These guys know who they are. They're just sort of a fun group, and this is an extension of that.
I feel like the whole thing was so JaVale McGee could play with a drone. That was the whole party, was just so he could have that drone and take pictures.
I want to know why I didn't get balloons. You came in here with some good music today, by the way, but you did not bring balloons, and really...
I got to do everything that I do?
We got to talk about
Yo,
that.
Steve, what's up, man?
That's all I got. Now we turn our attention to our favorite running soap opera. Yeah, bring on the music, baby. As the Kings turn. I get a smoke effect here, too. You may remember that last week, Shaq, who holds a minority stake in the franchise, said that the Kings might look to move DeMarcus Cousins if his attitude does not improve quickly. Boogie already among the league leaders in technical fouls.
That music's still going.
Amen.
Now we have Boogie's teammate, Rick Caspi, emphatically, I tell you, denying reports that he asked for a trade after seeing his playing time cut this season. Although, Caspi did say his agent met with Kings brass to discuss his role on the team. I mean, is it too early for Sacramento to blow up the roster?
Boy, the production elements are awesome on this show.
This is my
Take him to church.
favorite
Take him to church.
thing
Take him to church. Take him
My
to church.
favorite thing. This is it. This is a very expensive set. We did like all kinds of man hours going to the show as Sacramento Kings. It's my favorite bit on the show. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, man, it's crazy that we've reached this point. You know, this team's been put together and different coaches. If only someone had brought up the fact that this team should have been blown up, that DeMarcus Cousins probably should be the center of a trade. Only someone had written about it like, I don't know, 3 years ago or so. Oh!
Is that the super villain?
Oh, look at that. Should the Kings trade Cousins?
Wait, what's going on with the side of your hair there?
Yeah, it's the parts. That's from last season. Yes, as long as they have an emerging star who operates above the law, the Kings can establish a team culture or hold other players accountable. It would be naive to believe that Cousins will change. 2013, ladies and gentlemen.
I disagree with you, as you know.
You think he can change in there? I think he can change. I think he's got to be somewhere else where he comes to an organization and say, welcome, DeMarcus.
This is how it is.
All that stuff that you did in Sacramento, you leave it there. This is how we do things here.
Well, if Shaq's not going to be the guy, then it's not going to happen. And you know,
Think about that.
I honestly
But
think.
has Shaq tried?
Well, by him speaking up on it now, hopefully he will. I don't think he has.
You try an Atlanta set in TNT. That's a lot
Right.
different than going and actually spending the time. And I'm not saying Shaq has to, but if he wants to, I think he could. To me, I mean, first of all, I'm Team Boogie because I think he's just so much fun to watch.
Me too.
And I think that organization has thrown a lot in his path. I
Exactly.
would probably be frustrated also if I were him. Now, I would hope that we would all handle it maybe a little bit more maturely, but he does have reason to have acted out at times. The question is there someone, maybe a former center that he respects, somebody other than the people that they've been throwing at him, who he would listen to no matter what? Because if I'm the Sacramento Kings, I don't want to go see him flourish somewhere else. I would feel cheated after all the time and money I invested in him. So as a last-ditch effort, don't you invest in saying to Shaq, hey, come get your butt to Sacramento for 2 months and work with him?
When you are an owner, you should. You're part owner. I think you should. But at the same time, losing is frustrating.
Right.
I don't respect any NBA superstars that's in a position where they're losing and they're comfortable with it. That's one reason why I love Cousins. He wants to win. He doesn't want to be in that situation, and you got to respect that.
But
Caspi, we shouldn't be talking about that.
No, he just that was just
Off of that.
That was just
Be happy you in the league.
Look, that was just to keep the story
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
Like, so we had some other King stuff, not about.
Exactly.
But I want to say this before we go to break. I want to say that I don't want to make it seem like it's all his fault. They've been an awfully run organization. But I'm talking about, if we're talking about saving DeMarcus Cousins, of him not being a bust, him being as great as we all think he
the
can
talent
be.
is.
It's not going to happen in
You
Sacramento.
just don't think
It's
there's
not.
any
It will
shot?
not happen in
I agree.
Sacramento.
Really?
It's going to happen when he goes somewhere else. And then everyone's going to
Chicago.
say, well, where was this?
Well,
it was with an organization that knows how to
But then
treat
what?
guys.
You just throw the Sacramento organization in the garbage? You just say, you
Yes,
can't
they got to start all over. They ruined it. Their only hope is to start all over with new players who haven't been there, who haven't had that toxic environment change who
That's
they
a
are.
long road to go on when you
course.
already have one of the best players in the league on your roster.
It's a lot to absorb for one superstar. one
They've
organization.
never won 35 games.
I know.
Like, come on.
Okay, we have to take a quick break. I'm going to listen to more soap opera music, but when we get back, we'll discuss whether Thunder fans should start worrying after losing 3 straight. But first, on this date back in 1997, here is our distant replay featuring, Shaq. We were just talking about him, and David Robinson.
I love this
Admiral.
Van Exel with it. Playing the post is Shaq against Robinson. Drive, stop, slam, dunk. Wow.
Well, he just made David Robinson a poster child as he gave him a spin move, and David went up for the block and gets nothing but a poster out of it.
Andrew Wiggins dropped 47 against the Lakers. Did a lot of damage there, but 17 out of 22 of his attempts were at the line. Got a little notice from D'Angelo Russell.
I feel like anybody in this league is capable of doing that when you go to the free throw line that many times. It just makes the game easy for you, especially when you can score the ball. You see it go in a few times. The rim seems like an ocean out there, so.
Ooh, bad look for D'Angelo Russell there, Steven?
Yeah, he was salty. Basically, we said was we couldn't stop him tonight, so we kept fouling him, and we helped him get 47.
Anyone in the league can do it, you do it.
You do it.
Go ahead. Do it.
Lou had 45,
Although even-
the only one on the team.
Although even Luke Walton kind of took a little dig. But Andrew Wiggins, man, looks good out there. Guys, we had a little revenge special yesterday. Serge Ibaka going against his old team. Game winner in the final seconds. Even Russell Westbrook's monster triple-double, not enough to save the Thunder. So, I mean, how concerned should OKC fans be when he plays like this and they're not winning? Three losses in a row.
As concerned as when I told them after you beat the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Suns with him playing like that, and everyone's surprised and excited. Again, you can't play like that if that's how you win.
You can't sustain that. He needs help. It's obvious. We play a game like that and don't win. He needs help.
All right, we got to do one make or miss here. Make romance. A man popped the big question at an LA Defenders game over the weekend. Stephen, is a D-League game worthy setting for a marriage proposal?
I don't think it was the D-League. It's a Lakers court. Hey, stick within your budget. Find the closest Lakers court and make it look real.
There's nothing wrong with doing it at a D-League game if you live in Sioux Falls or Erie or a place like that. If you live in an actual city like Los Angeles,
Never propose at a sporting event. How many times do we have to have this conversation? People, don't do it. That's it from LA.
Stop, man.
We'll be
Stop.
back tomorrow.
Stop. No. No Zoom.